ADMA. Don Bosco had a deep love for Mary and was able to discover the importance and above all her presence in his life. As a sign of gratitude for the countless graces received personally by him and by so many others, he built the Basilica of Mary Help of Christians and wanted to found the Association of Mary Help of Christians to spread devotion to Mary and Jesus in the Eucharist.
Per diffondere la fede del popolo e anche per propagare la devozione a Maria e a Gesù Eucaristia.
ADMA today is an association of lay people present all over the world who, making Don Bosco's charism their own, try to imitate Mary's yes and place themselves beneath her mantle. Our desire is precisely to be light, to witness grace and trust like Mary as the way to reaching Jesus. When Don Bosco thought of ADMA, he did not think of it in a narrow way as an exclusive group. He thought of it as an association of all the people of God wherever they are. And so, starting from the Basilica and the words that are written there, Hic Domus Mea, he thought of the glory of Our Lady that radiates throughout the world. In fact, ADMA is now present in 50 countries with 800 groups, embracing more than 100,000 members. In Italy alone, there are some 60 ADMA groups. The high point for each group is certainly the commemoration of Mary Help of Christians on the 24th of each month. It is a propitious moment to strengthen one's love for Jesus and Mary through the prayer of the Rosary, Eucharistic adoration, the possibility of confession, and the traditional Salesian good night. Don Bosco teaches us that Mary did everything in Valdocco. She wanted a home and the Basilica to welcome all those who seek her help. From Valdocco, this conviction has radiated throughout the world, sharing the maternal presence of Mary, who teaches us to welcome Jesus into our lives. Thanks to ADMA, we have brought Jesus and Mary into our lives in a more conscious and profound way. Let us try to follow Don Bosco's example, his devotion to Jesus in the Eucharist and to Mary, Help of Christians in our daily life, in our marriage, in the education of our children, and in our relationships with others. With ADMA, we experience the beauty of walking together with other families, meeting new travel companions, and making genuine friendships. Our entrustment to Mary helps us above all to understand that life does not depend on us. When we had our first child, Lisa, we thought we could design and plan out the lives of our children. Instead, right after Lisa was born and everything was going well, we tried to have more children, but they never arrived. Yes, these were trying moments, but they opened new blessings. We became foster parents. The most beautiful thing we learned as foster parents is that the Lord never abandons us, and therefore we stand with Mary, like Mary, under the cross, looking forward in hope. And God never lets himself be outdone in generosity. In fact, he is always superabundant in his giving. So much so that just after Lisa came, so did 3 more children. Truly, for us, entrustment is saying, Lord, everything is in your hands. Thanks to ADMA, Mary entered our lives and we decided to make her our point of reference. Mary was our great guide, even when we found ourselves unexpectedly faced with the mystery of suffering. Right after the initial joy of the birth of our 3rd daughter, Julia, came a time of great suffering and fear. Little Julia's life was at risk. In those first hours when we didn't know if Julia would even make it, we turned to Mary and we prayed the Rosary. Life is beautiful. It is important beyond all other objective difficulties that we may encounter. And even in her life, when it's nailed to the cross, the Lord needs her to make the world more beautiful.
Anche se la sua vita è inchiodata ad una croce, il Signore ha bisogno di lei per fare il mondo più bello.
Then with Mary, trust becomes clearer, it becomes truer, it becomes more effective, and allows us to live life with greater intensity, with greater strength, truly seeking heaven's smile. We stand beneath the cross, holding tight to Mary, who is a mother and companion for us. With her, we try to face the joys and the struggles of this earthly life with faith and hope, in the certainty that a greater good awaits us. I have been accompanying ADMA families for more than 20 years now. I can say with certainty, when Our Lady enters the scene, everything does work out. The most beautiful sign that amazes me day after day, year after year, is that we have had so many family reconciliations, which stands to reason. Jesus, the Son of God, when he became flesh and entered our human reality, ultimately wanted a father and a mother. He wanted a family. Families are enlightened by this, turning to Jesus and Mary, to the Holy Family in some way, the two pillars. They feel that their family life is all sanctified. And then the gestures they make are all transfigured by the presence of Jesus and Mary. The family becomes a domestic church. We hope and pray that ADMA can continue to be, first and foremost, a door open to the future, through which many will enter and rediscover the beauty of entrusting their lives to Mary, and through her encountering Jesus and remaining in him. May it be a home that welcomes and brings Mary to families. Finally, ADMA can also be a thread that, starting from Valdocco, where everything was born, unites all the ADMA groups around the world with its light, making each group feel a close bond, enlivening them and keeping them all beneath Our Lady's mantle.